Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to look at something so fundamental that we barely even notice it's there. Have you ever stopped to think about how things you can't even physically touch? I'm talking about things like laws, or money, or the very idea of a country. How do they have such a real, powerful grip on our lives? So let's dive in. The starting point is a really simple observation about the reality we all share. It's built on a foundation of ideas that we pretty much never stop to question. Just think about your average day. You use money to buy things, you follow traffic laws, you operate as a citizen of a country. We just treat these concepts like they're solid, undeniable facts, and they absolutely shape our entire lives. But this is where it gets kind of weird, right? You can pick up a rock, you can touch a tree, but you can't physically touch a law. You can't hold the economy in your hands. At their core, they're just ideas. And yet they exert a very real, very concrete force on all of us. So that brings us to the core puzzle we're exploring. If these institutions are, for all intents and purposes, invisible, why do we give them so much power? What is it that makes us all agree to act as if they are completely real? Well, the answer isn't as simple as we just choose to believe. A much more powerful idea is that this shared reality isn't something we just passively accept. It's something that is actively and constantly maintained. And this insight is crucial. The realness of our institutions isn't some fixed state of being. It's an active, ongoing process. You can almost think of it as a daily performance that needs constant energy to keep it from just fading away. So how is it maintained? Through relentless repetition. The very language we use, the official records that are kept, the things we learn in school, the rules we follow, and of course the consequences when we don't. Every single one of these things is an act of reinforcement. All of these countless, overlapping actions, they create what you could call a stable interference pattern. Imagine ripples in a pond. If you get a whole lot of them overlapping in a consistent way, they form a steady, predictable shape. That stable shape, that is our shared reality. Now, let's see how this idea helps us look at one of our most fundamental institutions in a totally new light, the state itself. From this viewpoint, a state isn't primarily a structure of power or a piece of land on a map. It is, first and foremost, an engine, a machine designed specifically to keep that pattern of reality stable and to stop it from collapsing. And this leads to a pretty profound shift in how we can see our own role in all this. It's less about what we passively think inside our heads and way more about what we actively do. This completely reframes what belief even means. Believing in an institution isn't some internal feeling you have. It's simply the act of participating, of adding your own little ripple to that massive interference pattern. So the power of the law or the value of money doesn't come from some objective essential truth. It comes from the fact that millions of us, every single day, act in ways that maintain their reality. Our participation is the fuel. And this concept doesn't just apply to the state. It extends to all the big, abstract systems that organize our world. The market, currency, the legal system, they're all just vast interference patterns that we sustain through our collective actions. Which leaves us with a final, powerful thought. If belief is participation, and our participation is what holds this whole reality together, then we aren't just living in the world, we are actively building it moment by moment. So the question becomes, what kind of world are your actions helping to maintain?